Hello, in this video I will explain everything you need to know about Azmeri Wisps, which is the main mechanic for the new Dawn of the Hunt League for Path of Exile 2 0.2 patch. I played hundreds of maps and I will cover all of the synergies that I found and I will show how to take advantage of them. While explaining, I will also give my opinion on what I think is good and what is bad about them. So this video will be a guide and a review with my thoughts. I will discuss the basics of how these mechanics work, different colors and types of wisps, give some tips on how to encounter them most efficiently, and then summarize with my opinion on the good and bad sides of it. I will also show some additional items, game mechanics and even skills, all related to Azmeri Wisps. Let's dive in, but before we start, please keep in mind that GGG haven't provided all of the details about the Wisps. I did my best to discover as much as possible throughout the game exploration and experiments, but there may be some errors or topics that are not fully covered, or some of them may have been changed and hotfixed to work differently. If you want to add anything, drop a comment below and let's solve this puzzle together. Path of Exile creators decided not to disclose everything, so the Wisps are something mysterious that we need to solve. And I really like this idea because I assumed that ancient Amazonas didn't have access to Wikipedia. So instead of getting frustrated about it, I'm actually having fun discovering all of that. I will explain later in the video how many mechanics from PoE1 previous leagues were adapted into Dawn of the Hunt and you will be surprised. Without further ado, let's discuss the Wisps and their basic mechanics. As GGG stated in its content reveal video, Azmerian Wisps are the spirits that appeared in Reclast, and Delwyn, the Azmeri hunter, is trying to find out what's causing to behave them this way. You will find them in the campaign areas and in the maps. It will be a static orb which you will need to get close to in order to activate it. After you do that, it will start flying through the map, following its predetermined path to hunt a rare or unique monster. The Wisp flight is similar to the Delve card ride from the Delve League mechanic, or from the Abyss mechanic from Abyss League, or the Flying Tormented Spirit from Torment League, all from Path of Exile 1. It's like a reworked version of Tormented Spirits, I would say. During that flight, any monsters that will get into its area of effect will get infused by it, which will make it more powerful depending on the type of wisp, which we will discuss later. Touched, or you can call it infused, monsters that are slain will empower the wisp to increase the rewards of the monster that will be haunted. From my understanding, the touched monsters does not have any increased rewards, but I may be wrong here. But even if they do, the rewards shouldn't be too big, and I think all of the rewards go to the rare or unique monster at the end of the flight. The area of effect of the Wisp is quite small. It can be increased by the illumination notable on the Atlas tree. I covered the full 40 points Atlas tree for Wisps plus Rogue Exiles synergy in my previous video. The link is in the description and at the video end. When the Wisp flies, make sure that it touches the monsters first before you slay them. GGG in their video said that once we move away from the Wisp, it will slow down to wait for us, but from my experience it doesn't slow down too much and it doesn't seem like it waits, it rather tries to fly away, so we should chase it. When it's too far away, it will become red, and if it happens, you should get closer to it as soon as possible. Luckily, I noticed that if you die or portal to your hideout, the Wisp will wait for you. The Wisp will also wait for you when you open a ritual while chasing a Wisp. It will wait at the edge of the circle, but you also need to get close to it from time to time, because if you will be too far from it for too long during the ritual, it will disappear. I think that's one of the bad sides of this mechanic, that the area of effect of the spirit is quite small and it's really not easy to get the monsters touched before slaying them. It penalizes builds that one-shot the whole screen. The process is annoying and it's a bit similar to chasing the tormented spirits in Path of Exile 1 that were introduced in Torment League, where you were chasing the spirit before killing it and trying not to get killed by the monsters before it touches them, so you can kill them after they're touched. This time it's better because you can't kill the wisp like it was possible with the tormented spirits that I mentioned, but I think it's still not optimal and it could be redesigned and improved. At the end of its flight, it will find and possess a rare or unique monster, which will make him stronger and grant him new abilities. It's a bit similar to essence monsters, which also have additional abilities from the essence that they possess. These wisps can also possess monsters from essences, breaches and expeditions even before you detonate the explosives. After the wisp reaches the rare monsters, you need to wait a moment before it haunts the monster. If you kill the rare monsters too fast, before it gets haunted, the wisp will fly to another rare monster, so this may be a good idea. And if there's no more rare monsters in a map, and you kill that rare monster, the wisp will disappear. This design is bad, and I think that even if we kill all of the rare monsters, there should be some spectral monsters being spawned just so the wisp can find and possess him. At least that's my opinion, but maybe I'm wrong here. I also had a situation when I killed a rare monster before a wisp and the wisp disappeared, even though that there were more rare monsters in a map, so I'm a bit confused and I don't know why it happened. The haunted monster will drop greater rewards the more infused monsters killed along the way, the bigger rewards. It seems like the infused killed monsters don't drop any better items, they only empower the wisp to increase the rewards from the final haunted monster, but as I mentioned before, I'm not sure about that. You can see the wisp power meter after it haunts the monster and it can reach up to 200% power. You can see the wisp power icon under the monster life bar. If you chase two wisps of same type, both of them can get 200% and they stack. The Shining Trial notable on the Atlas tree gives a 25% chance for the spirit to be released on death, so we can chase it again. From my testing, the released spirit won't be the same empowered as before, you will have to empower it again. I have found two different spirits in a map close together and activated both of them. In most of the cases they will both go the same path. But sometimes they will go into two different directions, which I think is really bad design. But I think you should still activate both wisps at the same time anyway. From my experience, the other wisp will wait for you in the map if you're chasing another one. So you can go back and try to chase the other one too. If two wisps will go together, each monster will be touched by one wisp only, but I think it's still worth to chase two wisps together, so the rare monster will be haunted by two wisps, which is a good synergy, especially when the wisps are different colors. I also have a conclusion that when you find a spirit that is close to a rare monster, it's better to kill the rare monsters first, and then activate the spirit so it won't go straight to it, but it will take longer path to another monster that is further away and allow us to empower the wisp more. So that's how you interact with the mechanic, but that's not all, as I have much more to say about the wisps. Now let's get into the different colors and types of wisps. There are different types of wisps and they also have their subcategories. There are three colors of wisps: purple, blue and yellow. There are also additional sacred wisps that are orange. While the effect of each type for the drops has not been officially disclosed, we can speculate by the effects of the wisps from PoE1, where the purple wisp was increasing the rarity of items found, the blue wisp was adding currency, and the yellow wisp was increasing the quantity of items found. I speculate that it's the same here, but there's a big difference, which one of my viewers mentioned in the comments at my previous video, that in PoE2 the rarity of items found also affects their currency. So in Path of Exile 1, the best one was the blue one for the currency drops, the second best was the yellow one for the quantity, and the purple one for rarity was not good at all. My initial choice for the best one in the previous video was the blue one for the currency, but I think that the purple one for the rarity may be as good as the blue one or even better, and the combination of rarity and currency or rarity and quantity could be the best one. And that's not only because rarity can also improve the rarity of currency, that's also because there's a lot of valuable chase uniques in PoE2 that we didn't have in PoE1. As an example, the unique Gold Charm. When I checked recently, there were only two on the market for sale. One was 100 divines and the other one was 200 divines. We also have Astromantis, Dream Fragments, the Comic Calamity, Headhunter and many more. There are also Sacred Wisps that I would say are the unique wisps. There's a wisp of the Cunning Fox, which will turn a rare monster into a unique boss, but it will also turn all normal monsters into magic and magic into rare during its flight. and there's a wisp of a hare, which will greatly increase power of a monster, but also the rarity of items found. So far I found only 3 wisps of fox and 1 wisp of hare. The weird thing is that the wisp of fox was not initially orange, it was blue, and the wisp of hare was orange. I'm not sure if that's a bug, maybe they fixed it and all of them are orange now. These unique wisps are super rare and also not quite rewarding. It's similar to finding a unique strongbox in Path of Exile 1, which is super rare, and then dropping nothing valuable from it. I also tested the unique tablet that makes map bosses to be haunted. They are super hard, but also not too rewarding. And that's my general experience so far, that these wisps are not super rewarding, but I'm also not running a Magic Find build this league, so maybe that's the case. The 3 main wisps have their subcategories, and I'm not sure if some of them are more rewarding, like in PoE1 Torment League, where one of the spirits was much more rewarding, but I think it just adds different abilities to the monsters. The specific subcategory of a wisp gives a chance for a specific corresponding talisman to drop, from what I understand. Each of the wisps have their subcategory spirits. Each spirit has their own abilities, and here are some examples of specific subcategories for each wisp. Please keep in mind that each of the subcategory spirit from each category have their own mods. The purple wisps, which are, for example, the wisps of the Great Bear, are the wild wisps. It increases the monster life and stun, and summons spectral bear that will attack with slams. Blue wisps, which are, for example, the wisps of Winter Owl, and they are primal wisps, will make enemies to deal extra cold damage, gain energy shield, and release tornadoes. And the yellow wisps, for example, the wisps of a wild cat, and they are vivid wisps. They cause monsters to deal more crit strikes and be more evasive. It releases a barrage of feline spirits. Now let's discuss some additional wisp-related mechanics and items. Unique tablet called Season of the Hunt that makes map bosses to be possessed with wisps. Rite of Passage, you need Golden Charm that will possess you with a spirit on use, and there are different spirit versions of it. Omen of the Hunt, which makes possessed monsters to release a wisp on death. Tame Beast skill that allows you to put a wisp on a beast and catch it and use it as your companion, which is pretty cool. The Viridian Wildwood unique map, which is similar to the Wildwood mechanic from Affliction League, and you can find omens in it. And the Azmeri Ranges map that has been announced in the content reveal video, but I'm not sure if it was added to the game because I haven't found it, and I couldn't even find any video of it on YouTube. So that's all of my findings so far. Now let me add a short summary with my opinion. In general, I think this patch is great. Of course, we have massive balance problems, multiple instant crashes, etc. So there are many reasons to complain, of course, but I think the game is going in a good direction. This Wisps mechanic took inspirations from previous PoE1 leagues like Delve, Torment, Bestiary, Abyss. Especially the Tame Beast mechanic, which is similar to Bestiary League mechanic, could be a separate league. So, in my opinion, they gave us so much mechanics this patch that they could be divided into 2 separate leagues. I really like the Wisp mechanic, it's really fun. I like the fact that it pushes you into monsters. On the other hand, it's sometimes really annoying, like for example when the Wisp is flying to the part of a map that is cleared. They added checkpoints to eliminate backtracking, and now they make us backtrack because of the Wisp. The fact that you need to wait for the wisps before killing the monsters is also bad and dangerous. You can get killed because you can't attack the monster, which is really a bad design. I think it's really good that there's a same mechanic for taming a beast, but hunting a beast is a different story and it's fun. But having to wait before attacking rare monsters on every map should be changed. It's really annoying. And now let's talk about the rewards. The overall rewards are not good, but I think GGG want to prevent people from target farming or juicing and abusing one mechanic. That's why they also nerfed item rarity, and you know what, I really like it. Now players can focus more on just exploring the atlas and doing the maps, instead of targeting one specific content or stacking as much rarity as possible on the character. So I think that the Wisps mechanic is 6 out of 10 and it has potential to be 9 out of 10 or even 10 out of 10, making it the best mechanic in the game, but it needs some improvements. In my opinion, the current state of the game is not too good, but I can see it is going into a really good direction and it has a huge potential. It's a complex and ambitious project, so let's hope that GGG will be able to handle it, because as the game will be expanding and evolving, the more problems and challenges it will have. So yeah, that's it. Feel free to leave a comment below. I really like to have a discussion with you, my dear viewers, and I try to reply to every comment, even if it's a negative one, because they're also very valuable for me and I can learn from them. By the way, you can also check my previous video where I show my full 40 points Atlas tree for Azmeri Wisps and Rogue Exiles. The link is at the end screen and in the pinned comment. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more upcoming PoE2 content. I think it's time to open some reliquary keys now. See you soon.